And I really hope I can see you again real soon. Thank you.
Welcome back to our channel. Today, in quiet reverence, we remember the talented artists who left us too soon, some only just days ago. From the icons of Hollywood to rising stars, they each brought light to the world of entertainment until they passed away suddenly. If you feel moved by their stories, we invite you to leave a like as a silent tribute in their memory. Thank you. Now, let us begin. Jeannie Seely, lovingly known as Miss Country Soul, was the spirit and strength behind some of country music's most unforgettable moments. Her 1966 hit Don't Touch Me didn't just earn her a Grammy. It gave women in Nashville a voice that refused to be silenced. Rising to fame in the 1960s and 70s with a string of top 10 singles, she stirred tradition with every step, even making headlines for wearing a miniskirt on the Grand Ole Opry stage. Her presence was bold, her influence undeniable, but her path was far from easy. Jeannie weathered deep loss, illness, and the quiet ache of aging in an industry that often forgets its pioneers. Still, she never faded. Even in her final year, she recorded music and hosted her own radio show. "I saw a light at the end of the tunnel," she once said, "and it was neon, so I knew it was mine." Tragically, Jeannie passed away at the age of 85 from complications following an intestinal infection, as confirmed by her publicist, Don Murray Grubbs. Though her voice is now silent, her spirit lingers, like a quiet flame that continues to warm the soul of country music, reminding us that true legends never really leave. Flaco Jimenez brought the heart of San Antonio to the world, one accordion note at a time. For more than 70 years, he transformed conjunto and Tejano music from regional treasures into international rhythms. With no formal training, he played with instinct, soul, and unmatched passion. From Bob Dylan and the Rolling Stones to Carlos Santana, the legends followed his lead. His music didn't just entertain, it united, uplifted, and danced across generations. As a boy, Flaco would sneak into his father's room, cradling the accordion like a secret. The day his father caught him, he didn't yell, he cried. That quiet moment of pride launched a lifetime of sound. Flaco never needed lessons. He had something rarer, a gift that taught the world to smile and sway. Tragically, Flaco passed away at age 86, surrounded by family. His passing was confirmed in a heartfelt message shared on his official Facebook page. No cause of death was revealed. Only the echo of a profound silence where joy once played. To San Antonio, he was a prophet of rhythm. To the world, a bridge of cultures. And in every note that lingers, Flaco's spirit still plays on. Tom Lehrer, the brilliant satirist behind Poisoning Pigeons in the Park, and one of the sharpest musical minds of the 20th century, redefined comedy in song. In the 1950s and 60s, his blend of biting wit and mathematical precision carved out a new space for humor. Bold, brainy, and utterly fearless. Though he recorded fewer than 40 songs, his influence echoed far beyond, inspiring generations from Randy Newman to Weird Al Yankovic, who once called him his last living musical hero. But beneath the laughter was a man of quiet integrity. In the 1970s, just as his cult fame surged, Lehrer stepped away from the stage to teach mathematics, choosing the clarity of a classroom over applause. Decades later, in a final generous gesture, he released his entire catalog into the public domain, simply saying, "Help yourselves, and don't send me any money." Tragically, Lehrer passed away at 97 at his home in Cambridge, Massachusetts. His death was confirmed by longtime friend David Herder. No cause was disclosed, only the silence of a voice that once made us laugh at the world's darkest corners. Tom Lehrer didn't just mock the absurd, he made us think sharper, laugh deeper, and never take genius too seriously. Mick Ralphs, the guitar powerhouse behind rock staples like Can't Get Enough and Feel Like Makin' Love, helped define the sound of 1970s British rock. As co-founder of both Mott the Hoople and Bad Company, his riffs became anthems, raw, unforgettable, and endlessly replayed. This November, he was finally set to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, a recognition long overdue. For nearly a decade after a debilitating stroke in 2016, Ralphs was confined to bed, his final performance having taken place at London's O2 Arena. But even in silence, his music roared on, in record grooves, on concert speakers, and deep in the memories of those who lived through his era. Paul Rodgers remembered him as an amazing and versatile guitarist who had the greatest sense of humor. Simon Kirke simply said, "We will miss him deeply." Sadly, Ralphs has passed away at the age of 81. His death was announced in a heartfelt message on Bad Company's official website. Mick Ralphs didn't just play the guitar, he shaped the very sound of rock. And through every chorus that still blares from a speaker, he reminds us that great music never dies. Ozzy Osbourne, the unmistakable voice behind Crazy Train and War Pigs, forever changed the face of heavy metal. From his early days with Black Sabbath to a wildly successful solo career, he sold over 100 million albums, won multiple Grammy Awards, and was twice inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. With a scream that could shake arenas and a presence that felt almost otherworldly, Ozzy wasn't just a performer. He was a force of nature. Born in Aston, England, he rose from poverty and personal chaos, jail time, addiction, even being fired from Black Sabbath, to forge one of rock's most resilient legacies. And though Parkinson's disease and a string of surgeries pushed him into retirement, by 2023, he made one final vow: to sing once more for his fans. On July 5th, he did just that. In a thunderous farewell at Villa Park in Birmingham, reuniting with Black Sabbath for a night drenched in history and love. Just 17 days later, tragically, Ozzy passed away at 76, held by his family. His death was confirmed by loved ones. He was laid to rest privately near the lake at his Buckinghamshire estate. Ozzy didn't just sing darkness. He gave it a voice. And now that voice is gone, the silence it leaves behind is deafening.
Embrace, two arms to hold me.
Connie Francis, the voice that defined a generation with hits like Stupid Cupid and Everybody's Somebody's Fool, broke barriers in the golden age of pop. She was the first woman to top the Billboard Hot 100 as a solo artist, a moment that changed the course of music history. With global success in multiple languages, she gave voice to longing, joy, and heartbreak in a way that felt deeply personal. But her journey was shaped by more than stardom. In 1974, she survived a violent assault that silenced her for years. She later battled bipolar disorder and endured failed surgeries that took her voice. Still, Connie came back, not just to sing, but to fight for others. She became an advocate for victims' rights, a beacon of courage, and eventually, a singer reborn. In her final years, the long-overlooked gem Pretty Little Baby found new life on TikTok, introducing Connie to a new generation. she joined the platform herself, smiling, singing, still radiant. Tragically, she passed away at age 87 on July 17th, just weeks after being hospitalized for chronic pain. Her death was confirmed by close friend and record label president Ron Roberts. Connie Francis didn't just top charts, she touched hearts. And though her voice is gone, her spirit still sings.
And I really hope I can see you again real soon. Thank you.
Celine Dion, the unmatched voice behind some of music's most powerful ballads, has lived a life of stunning triumphs. But behind the applause lies a quiet chronicle of sorrow and resilience. Her path has been shaped as much by pain as by glory, beginning with the devastating loss of her father, Adhemar Dion, to bone cancer in 2003. He passed away at the age of 80, just as Celine was performing in Las Vegas. That night, she turned her stage into a tribute, a heartfelt goodbye wrapped in melody. "He was always my #1 fan," she later shared with tenderness. In a candid interview with Larry King, she spoke of the hollow space grief leaves behind. "Even when you expect it, you're never really ready." She took time off from her residency to mourn in private and be with her family, only returning once she had honored his life and laid him to rest. Over the years, Celine found quiet ways to keep her father's memory alive. In 2012, she released the aching ballad Parler à mon père, Talking to My Father, a song full of longing and devotion. On his birthday in 2018, she posted a moving message. "Papa, you would have been 95 today. I'm thinking of you. I love you." In 2020, grief returned with the passing of her mother, Thérèse Tanguay Dion, who died at 92 after battling Alzheimer's. On stage that same night, Celine spoke gently to the audience, admitting, "I feel a little shaky today." She offered the performance in her mother's honor, speaking not just for herself, but for her entire family. Yet the loss that shattered her the most was that of her husband, René Angélil, her great love and the architect of her stardom. Diagnosed with throat cancer in 1998 and again in 2013, René endured a painful decline, nourished only through a feeding tube. Celine paused her career to be by his side. When he passed away in 2016, she returned to the stage just a month later, standing strong in front of her fans and declaring, "We were one." And that hasn't changed. We'll always be one. Just days later, another cruel blow struck. Her brother Daniel died of cancer on January 16, 2016, on René's birthday. Celine later reflected with quiet belief, "René escorted my brother. It was perfect, seeing it as a divine sign, a final act of love from beyond." That same year, sorrow continued to touch her family. Her sister Liette lost her husband, Guy Poirier, to cancer in August. Years earlier, Liette's daughter Karine died from cystic fibrosis at just 16, passing away in Celine's arms. As the young girl drew her last breath, Celine softly sang to her, watching a tear roll down Karine's cheek. That haunting moment moved Celine to become the celebrity patron of Cystic Fibrosis Canada and inspired her to write Fly, a tender farewell featured on her 1996 album, Falling Into You. Even Celine's extraordinary voice has not been spared. In 2012, a viral infection weakened her vocal cords, leading to canceled concerts. 6 years later, she developed a condition in her middle ear, patulous Eustachian tube, that made hearing herself sing nearly impossible. After surgery and rest, she returned to the stage with humility and grace, saying to her audience, "I had a health issue. But don't we all?" Her journey to motherhood was also marked by challenges. After welcoming her first son, René Charles, through IVF in 2001, she endured setbacks, including a miscarriage in 2009, and multiple rounds of fertility treatment before giving birth to twins, Nelson and Eddie. She has often said motherhood is her most profound gift. Then came a diagnosis that changed everything. In December 2022, Celine revealed she had stiff person syndrome, a rare neurological disorder that affects roughly 1 in a million people. This painful condition causes muscle stiffness, severe spasms, and sensitivity to noise and light. It put her mobility and voice at risk. She postponed her European tour, and by May 2023, she canceled all remaining Courage World Tour dates through 2024. Her sister Claudette later shared, "There's no cure yet, but Celine is always full of hope. She always tries to be the strongest." That strength has been her trademark for decades. Despite the setback, her presence endured. In May 2025, 37 years after her Eurovision victory, she made a surprise appearance through video at the Eurovision Song Contest in Basel. Clad in a soft gray blazer, she spoke with elegance and affection to Denmark, the country that had crowned her in 1988. Though her body kept her from being there in person, her words bridged the distance, reminding fans of the woman they've always known. Just weeks later, on June 6, 2025, she stepped back into the public eye in joyful fashion, attending a Coldplay concert in Las Vegas with her children. She danced among the crowd, capturing the moment on TikTok with a smile that radiated humor, grace, and the joy of simply being present. Always generous, Celine used her pain as a way to give back. She donated $2 million to help establish a research chair for autoimmune and neurological diseases at the University of Colorado, turning her private battle into a beacon of hope for others. Through every heartbreak and every stage she's walked, be it concert halls or hospital corridors, Celine Dion has stood as a symbol of elegance and strength. Her story is not just one of talent, but of tenacity. And though her voice may be quieter now, its echo is louder than ever. She has risen before, and I believe with everything in me, she will rise once again.